ImCaliKidOfficial.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the CaliKidOfficial Podcast. This is episode number 16. Usually it is uploaded on Saturdays, but I pushed it back a little because a lot was taking place this week and I wanted to get it all in this podcast. But let's get to it. So we got some new music released this week. Chris Brown, Young Thug, they released Slime and B. Lil Tjay released State of Emergency. Durk released Just Cause Y'all Waited 2. Kehlani released It Was Good Until It Wasn't. And Nav released Good Intentions. So I had a chance to listen to all the projects. So we're going to start first with the Slime and B project. It's 12 songs. For the most part, the project was pretty mediocre. Most of it is mid-level work. What I can say is though is that the best songs are towards the end of the project, and like the only song I really thought was like the best was the City Girl song. But pretty much, I think that they should have left this one in the hard drive. They shouldn't have put this one out because it started to sound repetitive. But the City Girl song, I would say, is probably the best record on there. Other people might feel different, but that's how I felt about that. But moving on from that one, we also got a State of Emergency. It was a 7-track project mixtape. Pretty cool project. The standouts on this one for me was Ice Cold, Zoo York, City on My Back, and My City. That Zoo York song is real tough, and that's actually also a name of a clothing brand too. I got a couple of those t-shirts, but those were the tracks I thought was the best on that project. He released a music video for Zoo York. Pop Smoke was featured on that song, but unfortunately he's not here to be in that. But during his part in the music video, people from New York was basically rapping his part and stuff, so that's pretty cool. But that's probably like the best record on there. Ice Cold and Zoo York, I believe, is the singles for that project. So that was a pretty cool project. Then we had Lil Durk's project, 15 tracks. Standouts for me was All Love, Viral Moment, and Turn Myself In. It was a pretty okay project. There were other projects released that I felt was better, but I'll get into that a little bit later on. Then we had Kehlani's project, It Was Good Until It Wasn't, another 15-track album. Standouts from this were Toxic, Can I, Bad News, Water, Can You Blame Me featuring Lucky Day, and Open/Passionate. Now for me, this was the best project released this week, bar none. Like, pretty much like the first, I would say 5 tracks was nothing but heat, just hitting. It kind of teetered off a little bit, but for the most part, I felt as though it was the most consistent album or project put out this week. And so I will put that one as number one for, in terms of the projects that came out. And then we had Nav's Good Intentions, 18 songs. Standouts was Turks, Saint Laurent with 3 T's, Recap with Don Toliver and She Hurtin'. Another pretty cool album. It's mostly just, him swag rapping or whatever. It was okay, but if I had to rank them, I'll probably say Kehlani's was 1. Then I would probably say Little Tjay at 2. Then I would probably put Durk at 3. And then I'll probably put Nav at 4. And then the Chris Brown project is last. But that's pretty much my review of those projects. If you haven't listened to them, make sure you guys or if you want to, take the time to listen to them for yourself and see what you think about them. But that was pretty much the new projects. And also this week, Tekashi 6ix9ine makes his return to the internet. He went live. He also debuted a new song called Gooba. It broke a bunch of different records. He also broke the Instagram live record with 2 million live viewers. You had a whole bunch of people hating on him or whatever because he did what he did. He snitched or whatever. He also addressed the snitching. He owned up to it. He also explained why he did it. He basically said that the people that were around him weren't loyal, and that they were the ones that became unloyal first, and so he felt as though he didn't have any other choice. Because when you look at it, the people around him was robbing him. The people around him was, messing around with his baby mother. The people around him was plotting on murdering him. The people around him kidnapped him. The people around him plotted to kidnap his mother. And then you hear the tape recordings that the FBI ever had on male murder. I mean, not male murder, with Shotty and Jim Jones talking about he need to be super violated. So you had that part. So, and then you had the person that was filming Tekashi talking about putting hits on people. So you had that part, So I understand them in that sense, but you also got to look at it like this. You also, snitched on some people that, didn't really do anything, like who to be. I don't know if he did anything or whatever, but you told on him. So that was wrong. I don't condone what he did, but I understand why he did it. And then you got a bunch of people calling him out for that, which is kind of, goofy and two-faced. You had Meek Mill talking about snitching, but didn't Meek Mill not tell on Drake saying that he had ghostwriters and stuff? And then he told on Safari to Nicki Minaj in order to get with her. And then that's how the whole game disc came out. So that's a form of snitching. Yeah, he didn't talk to the authorities, but you still told on somebody. And then Snoop, there is allegations that you told on Suge Knight. And people that was around for that, like what's that podcast called? The Gangster Chronicles. They was talking about that on there. So, if you have a spotted history of telling or whatever, you shouldn't really be calling people out, talking about you was snitching, this, that, and the third. And when you do look at it, it's a bunch of hating going on. I saw a lot of hypocrisy going on, and I knew that this was going to happen. Everybody that pretty much, said, oh, he's canceled, and oh, I don't mess with this, and this is out, had everything to say. Y'all was in his live. Y'all was watching his video. Y'all reacted to his video, but y'all don't mess with him. That's kind of crazy. You hate the dude. You don't like the dude. You don't condone what he did, but yet you're engaging in his content. That's a hypocrisy. So, it is what it is. But as I was seeing, he broke some records. So right here it talks about him breaking Eminem's record on YouTube with the most views in 24 hours. It says, according to Hip Hop Smart estimate, the video had roughly 43 million views by the end of the first day. At the time of publication, Google currently has over 61 million views. Yeah, he broke the record, because when I went on the video to react to or whatever, YouTube have frozen the views, because they usually do that when a video gets a crazy amount of views in a short period. They do that with the K-pop groups, because their fans is very rabid, and they be watching the video like over and over and over. So that's something that they consistently do. But when I went on there to look at it, it was like 1,000 something views, and it had like 100,000 likes. So that lets you know that they froze the views or whatever. And then they didn't want to put it on the trending page either. It was in the music portion, but it should have been on the main trending page, because it was the biggest thing, on the internet. So it says, yeah, the video had 43 million views by the end of the first day, and at time of publication, 61 million views, which is today, May 10th. Let's see. Previous record was held by Eminem for that Kill Shot record he put out. It amassed 38.1 million views in 24 hours. So he beat that by what, about 6 million views, 6.3 million views or whatever. Or yeah, no, 38.1 and what, 43. So like 4.9 million views. But yeah. Yeah, and then he broke the Instagram Live record, which first Taylor Swift had it. She had like I think like 300,000 or something. Then Tory had it with like 365,000. Then Babyface and Teddyface had it with like 500,000. Then he broke it with 2 million. So that ain't gonna get touched. And then Tory also commented on that. He was like, he went in there and looked in there and was like, oh, peace out or something like that. It was funny. But yeah, you had people calling him out, complaining and stuff. Meek and Snoop Dogging on Elliott Wilson because he posted 6ix9ine's thing. People mad at him. Like, if y'all don't mess with him, why do y'all care so much? Y'all say y'all don't like the dude. Y'all say he canceled. Y'all say y'all don't mess with him. But all y'all had his name in y'all mouth. A lot of y'all was using him for clout in music videos. The people that was calling him out was using him for clout in music videos and all this other stuff. But you don't like to do that. That right there, I don't really understand. They talking about Durk, y'all dropped today. Yeah, he dropped, but 6ix9ine was the biggest thing that day. Yeah, y'all don't mess with him. The streets don't mess with him, but his audience is in the streets. His audience is, kids, suburban America and things like that. And when you look at hip hop as a whole, the streets ain't buying hip hop music. It's, the suburban kids and, people from that walk of life in general. The streets don't dictate, hip hop anymore. That's been dead, for a minute. So, can't be complaining about that. Like, y'all too can't be talking about people rats when y'all have histories of doing the same thing. So, that's the only thing, I didn't really like about the whole situation. Yeah, he did what he did. I don't condone it, but that's like the kettle calling itself black, or however that scene goes. But also another fallout from this, apparently Joe Budden ruffled Natalie Nunn's feathers because he says something to the tune of Nasty Nat because she was in the Instagram live giving him praises, which all the females is messing with 6ix9ine. They don't care about that street stuff. Most people don't care about that because they're not from that world. Most people are civilians, so that's not gonna really bother them. But it turned into a whole nother thing. So it says Joe says, I chimed in there for a quick second. I wasn't looking at him or the numbers. I doubt that. I was looking at the comments to see which one of you niggas was being nasty, and I saw the same nastiness. Natalie Nunn, he said. I saw Natalie Nunn there giving it up. Natalie Nunn is not a street chick, so it doesn't matter if she was giving it up or not. And so this is her addressing the situation.
I don't know how you get allow these, how you be trying to act unbothered. I don't even know you. I never met you a day in my life. You never supposed to talk on nobody else, your whole wife. You gon' get you gon' get some smoke coming your way. I don't even need to clickbait and hear what you had to say. You need to shut the up.
Oh, boy.
Stop worrying about what the next doing. Ain't even a big don't even know. You never met me a day in your life. But that's cool because I know Sin. I know Sin very well, and I will get Sin on the line and let her know I'm about to go in.
That's that Bad Girls Club coming out. Like, JoJo, you in trouble. Joey. Like, yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. I thought there was a video with Joe talking about it. But maybe it got taken down or something. Because I don't see it. Catch. Yeah, it got taken down. But, yeah. Basically, that ain't, he ain't got himself into a situation, and then the husband basically said that, he bought that action, so. I don't know, this is crazy how, one thing happens and then that leads to something else happening, but. Again, I don't condone what he did, but if you have a history of doing what he did, you shouldn't be talking, period. And if you said in the past that you wasn't going to mess with him, and yet you engage with his content, and you creating content off his content, you're a hypocrite. And I saw a lot of people that said that and was doing that, engaging with his content and, creating content off his content. But, it is what it is. Also, live concerts are starting to come back. So Live Nation are looking at a way to roll out concerts by reducing the venues by about 80%. There's a rock band called Bishop Gunn. They're going to be the first to partake in it. The venue that they're going to be at, let's go to the thing. Yeah, the venue that they're going to be at is supposed to have like 1,100 people, but they're only going to permit 229 people. And they said that they're going to have them 2 to 12 seats apart from each other. They're going to have their temperatures checked and wear masks. Personally, this is not going to work. It's not going to work, because then what's going to happen when you have to go to the bathroom and stuff like that? People are going to be near each other. And then what this also is going to do is make it to where tickets are going to be insanely high. People are going to be trying to resell tickets for probably like 10 or 20 times their price, because the amount of seats and stuff is going to be limited. So this isn't going to work, but we just going to have to see. I mean, a lot of businesses is losing out on a lot of money, but the situation is what it is. It's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. You can't really do too much about it, but I don't see this working. That's going to be a huge problem. The ticket prices is going to shoot through the roof, and yeah, I don't see that working. I don't see that working. Also, we had a bunch of shenanigans taking place as well. So, you know, we've been having the versus battles take place, different people getting on Instagram Live and showcasing their music against one another. And a question was posed to Khia, who, you know, she has that song "My Neck, My Back," who she would be interested in doing a versus battle with. And of course, she said, you know, Trina, she and her have a story history. From what I've read, it all started because apparently Khia said that she wrote Trina's hit song "The Baddest Bitch" or something like that, and then Trina dissed her in a record. So that's how that whole thing popped off. And Trina basically she got wind of Khia talking about she wanted to challenge her, but she said, "I'm not going to lower myself to someone that's beneath me and that doesn't have as many hits." Because Khia said, "Oh yeah, I got 240 something hits for you," but it's like, no, you don't. You just have that one. And then, you know, Twitter led it to her, so that became a whole thing. But that didn't happen. And then 50 Cent, he's been acting as Southwest T's personal debt collector. If you don't know who that is, he's one of the co-founders of the BMF family, along with his brother, Big Meech. He just recently came home from prison, and 50 Cent has been going at the people that apparently owes him money. He went at Diddy first, and then Diddy and 50 Cent got on the phone together, and Diddy, I guess, apparently paid what he was supposed to pay. Then he went at Irv Gotti, talking about, "You punk, how you borrow $1 million from this dude and ain't put no money on his books." He went at Jeezy. You know, Jeezy early in his career was a part of BMF. That actually helped propel his music career. And apparently Jeezy made good with Southwest T. Let's see what it says. So this was the first part. 50 Cent said, "Big T said, get Jeezy ass too. How you screaming BMF who helped you get a record deal? Then Meech mom is calling you and texting you to let you know T is home and you're ignoring the phone calls." So now his mom said, "Fuck the backstage patches and free tickets to concerts. Pick up the phone." Yeah, 50 Cent be funny. And so this is Southwest basically confirming that Jeezy got in touch with him. He says, "The night is just about over and I had a chance to take it all on. Wrote Terry, it's always good to converse. Respect, bro." So this is apparently a picture of them. But yeah, Irv, that 50 Cent is funny because, you know, he's working on the BMF story. He's spearheading that. That's going to be on Stars. He got a lot on his plate that he's working with this whole COVID thing. That's basically then put a halt to a lot of production, but he has his hands in a lot of different films and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then what else we had happen? Yeah, Earl Thomas apparently got caught stepping out on his woman, and her and a friend went and rolled up on him and caught him in bed with a woman and his brother. That mess right there is crazy. Let me see if I can pull that up. Oh yeah, and also speaking on the 6ix9ine situation, some girl leaked his address and he had to move or whatever. Which I feel as though that's gonna be a continuing thing. At some point, he's just gonna have to say fuck it and hunker down wherever he's at, because I don't think a person is gonna want to keep having to move addresses over and over and over again. So, but trying to find this video. I had it saved, but all right.
So my agent just hit me and said that I'm gonna be on TMZ tomorrow from an altercation that happened with me and Nina. So just wanted to get ahead of it, and I mean, it's really not anybody's business.
It ain't.
It pisses me off that it got out, but it's the world we live in today. But instead of talking about this, just keep us in your prayers. And stuff like this happens, bro. You know, we try to live the best lives we possibly can, but sometimes it don't go as planned. Just pray for us, you know, as we go through this stuff. You know, we're back talking. You know, I'm seeing my kids. So just keep us in your prayers.
Yeah, that was the political response. You got caught with your pants down, and you know you had to go online and deal with that. That's crazy, though. It says she came across her husband's infidelity. She called up 2 of her friends, grabbed her husband's Beretta, went to the location, found them in bed naked with an unidentified woman and his brother. So basically, he and his brother was running a train on this chick. She told the police she only had the gun to scare Earl, but admitted that upon finding her husband in bed with the woman, she pulled out the gun and aimed at his head. She said that she didn't believe she could actually harm her husband because she had taken out the magazine. That's the first mistake. You always have to make sure that there isn't a bullet in the chamber, because what if she would have pulled the thing and then killed them? Because apparently right here, what she didn't know was that there was a bullet in the chamber. Exactly. So you took out the magazine, and in a fit of rage, you could have killed the father of your kids, and then now it would have been all bad. Because not only that, you would have went to jail, and your children would have been put into foster care or whatever if there wasn't somebody else, you know, to come and step into that role. So the kids would have been without both their mother and father. So this situation could have escalated into something else. So thankfully she didn't do that. One of the unidentified women recorded the incident with her phone, including Nina holding the gun from less than 1 foot away. Earl was able to get the gun away from his wife, but Nina struck her husband in the face, so she probably slapped him. She reportedly aimed a gun at the woman in the house as well and yelled, "I got something for all you hoes." Okay, so it was more than one woman. So it was basically having an orgy then. Because at first they just said they found him and his brother in the bed with one woman, but it's saying that there's multiple women, so they went and had a fuck fest or whatever. So this is him, his wife, and his kids. They got that forehead though, but that's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's unfortunate, you know. That's why if you're not ready to commit, and if you still want to, you know, play around with a woman, don't get married. That's all it is to it. Unless you're in a situation with a woman who, you know, supports that type of lifestyle, then hey. But if she don't support that, or vice versa, you can't play with people's feelings like that, because situation like this happen. You know, emotions run high, and then somebody do something that they later regret. So, Goins law firm to seek justice for Nina Thomas. What is this? Things have just asking for prayers and privacy at this time. Are now suffering great harm from an unfounded ongoing investigation. She is faithful to fulfill her and never compromise on the considers her. What the heck is all this? They basically trying to, I guess this is supposed to be like a character report or something. She was wrongfully arrested on the night of April 13th for the charge of burglary of a habitation with the intent to commit aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's not unfounded. That's exactly what happened. You went to somebody's place of residence with a pistol, and whether you went there to fire it off or what, you went there to confront a person, and you used the pistol as a form of intimidation. Because she said, "I got something for all you hoes." That something was that gun. Even though it only had one bullet in there, but still, you know how those laws work. They toss anything on there, but we have gathered information which contradicts. I never heard of controverts. Every single allegation made on 9 question. Maybe not working. Try something. Just try to show do not stick in pristine name. Pristine name is clear. Yeah, so that's basically what this is. Her attorney wrote that to, save face for her. Yeah, those type of situations tend to happen. Sometimes people get fed up with the monotony of a marriage and they step out. That's why, if you have that type of idea in your head, don't get married. Simple as that. Don't get married unless you're 100% sure that you're ready for that. But moving on from that, we finally got the next versus battle. We got two queens of neo soul / R&B music, Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. I had came in kind of late. I think I came in on what track did I come in on? The third round. So yeah, 2 tracks had played before that, but I managed to get the whole rundown of tracks playing. So the first one, we had basically them playing each other's version of a song called "You Got Me" with the Roots. So I basically gave that a tie because it's pretty much the same song and just them doing their rendition of it. Then we had On and On versus Getting in the Way. I gave that one to Erykah Badu. We had Didn't You Know versus Whale, Rolling Hills. I gave that one to Erykah Badu. Then we had Back in the Day versus Slowly Surely. I gave that one to, I gave that one as a tie. Then we had Other Side of the Game versus You Always. I gave that one to Erykah. We had Apple Tree against Whenever You're Around. I gave that one to Erykah. We had Time's a Wasting versus Can't Wait. I gave that to Jill Scott. We had Clever versus Watching Me. I gave that to Jill. We had Danger versus Fool's Gold. I gave that one to Jill. We had Next Lifetime versus Honey Molasses. I gave that one to Erykah. That Next Lifetime, that be hitting. That was pretty funny too. Like there's this one part where Erykah asked Jill, like, how did you get the strength and courage to allow people to listen to your poetry and whatnot? And then, Erykah said, because, I don't really let people into my poetry like that. And then Jill was like, well, can I have it? I'll rub your feet. that mess was so funny. And then, like, they were talking about different songs. Like, she has this one song called Crown Royal. She was like, it's a what did she say, a clean sexual record or a beautiful sexual record or something like that. But their commentary back and forth was pretty funny. They also talked about how the industry pitted the two against each other, but in reality there was never no beef between them. And so basically they cleared the air on that, and that they were friends and stuff. And then they talked about different experiences they had, like this one tour called Sugar Water, where I think it was Jill, Erykah, and Queen Latifah, and how they wanted to get back together to do it again. But the timing wasn't working because usually one or the other would be filming or on tour or whatever, but they all want to get back together and do that. They also talked about different producers and stuff that they worked with, and things of that nature. But overall, the whole atmosphere was pretty dope. They had about a little over 700,000 people. So in terms of the Versus live record, they have that, because the previous one was 500,000 with Babyface and Teddy Riley. But getting back into the songs, after that we had Today Earth Song versus Jare Me Kofasola, which translates into God is King to me, with sound so much I rejoice. I gave that one to Jill Scott. We had Love Is On The Way versus Love Rain Down. I gave that one, I tied that one. Then we had Love of My Life versus So In Love. I gave that one a tie. Then we had The Healer versus Crown Royal. I gave that one to Jill. We had Honey versus A Long Walk. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark. That song, so I gave that one to Jill. Then we had Bag Lady versus Bless. I gave that one to Erykah. Bag Lady, that song be hit. Then we had Window Seat versus The Wave. Both of these is some heat, so I gave that a tie. Then we had Tyrone versus He Loves Me. I gave that one to Erykah. And then we had Green Eyes versus Cross My Mind. I gave that one to Jill. So after tallying it up, it basically came out to a tie for me. Both of them I gave 7 rounds, and then 5 ties. Erykah I gave rounds 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 16, and 18. And I gave Jill rounds 7, 8, 9, 11, 14, 15, and 19. So overall, it was a pretty dope experience. I thought it was pretty cool how they planned for this, you know, to debut the day before Mother's Day. This was a nice gift for all the women and all the mothers, you know, around the world. You know, happy Mother's Day to, you know, all the mothers around the world. So that was dope. And then, you know, to close off the podcast, I'm gonna get into UFC 249. So we had that. This is pretty much like one of the first, well, not really, because you still have WWE and AEW still running events, but in terms of like the martial arts sports, this is like the first one to actually put on a show. So we had Greg Hardy versus Jorgen De Castro. Hardy won that bout in a unanimous decision, 30-27. So basically he won all 3 rounds. He was very aggressive throughout the fight, so I think that's why they gave that one to him. Then we had Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar. Now this one was crazy. Like Calvin, he won. He beat him with an elbow KO. So what happened is, let's say this is Jeremy, and then I'm Calvin Kattar. So like Jeremy kind of like fainted a bit. And then Calvin came in and like grabbed him like this, and then boom, connected with the nose and basically took him out of there. That was crazy. So he might have gotten what is it called, the performance of the night thing. And then the next bout we have Francis Ngannou versus Gerizano Rosenstruck. But Ngannou basically took him out of there. He KO'd him in 20 seconds. So the match basically started out filling out each other. And then at some point, Ngannou was like, forget all this. And he just bum rushed him, just throwing everything with bad intentions. And then one punch like caught the dude on the side of the face like that and knocked him down. And then it was over from there. Like at one point, the dude was, you know, unconscious. And then, you know, he came back too, but that was pretty crazy. And then we had Henry Cejudo versus Dominick Cruz for the bantamweight title. Cejudo won in the second round, basically TKO, which this was kind of controversial because Cruz, what happened was Cruz went in and Cejudo caught Cruz in the face with a knee, which stunned him and knocked him on the ground. Cejudo went in, hit him with like 11 strikes. And I guess the referee thought it was too much, but Cruz was getting up. He wasn't knocked out, even though he was getting hit. And the referee waved it off and basically gave Cejudo the bout. So that was probably the controversial part of the pay-per-view. And, you know, Cruz was pretty upset after that. And then Cejudo announced his retirement. So we don't know if that's going to stick, because, you know, a lot of times people announce retirements and then they come back or whatever. But that was pretty much that. And then we get the main event, Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight belt. And this was pretty much a massacre. Justin basically massacred him the whole entire fight. Tony is a very very tough dude. He was getting hit with everything and kept coming. And finally they ended it and gave the bout to Justin with a 5th round TKO. So, and then you had people commenting like the current champion Khabib, he was like no comment. But Tony Ferguson, he got the heart of a warrior. He was getting hit with a whole bunch of stuff. I'm pretty sure he got a concussion because towards the end of the bout, he got hit with something, and then like he was shaking his head like that and stumbling, and then shake his head again, and then that's when the referee, I think his name is Herb Dean, basically stepped in and waved the fight off. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this week's podcast. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you guys check out my album Euphoria. That's available on all platforms. There's merch for that. There's the merch link as well as the link for the album is in the description. You can stream it, buy it. Just make sure you guys check that out. I want to hear back from you guys and give me your opinion of what you think. I know one person here reached out. They said they like the Strive record on there, so I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. There's also a link in the description for those of you that want to get into trading stocks. If you click on the link and sign up through there, we both will get a free share of stocks. So that could be an incentive for you guys. And yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Take care of yourselves, and until the next podcast, peace.